Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of What the Chat Says. In this episode, we'll be looking at the weekly review of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. What happened at the floor from Monday till Friday last week. We'll be reviewing all the data. Let's go to the agenda. We look at the summary. Then we look at the market sentiments. What is the update on the market sentiments? Is it right to buy now or should we wait? Then from there we start looking at the charts. We look at the Osha index, the sector, and some few stocks that I found interesting. Let's kick off now. For the week ending on the 10th, let me see the date. Yeah, on the 10th July, market closed with a loss of 0.12%. A loss 0.12% for last week, closing at 24,300 plus, which that implies a negative 30 index point loss in the market last week. Banking sector led with 16 index points. In terms of percentage gain, it was the banking sector that gained 6%. All other sectors lost apart from the banking sector. So what's that telling us? Indirectly, consumer goods sector declined most, losing 4%. That's about 17 index points lost. In terms of the market breadth, monitoring the 30 capitalized companies, 19 stocks advanced against 7 that declined. That looks good. That looks good, but that's just 1 week. Presco led the gainers with 16%, followed by Sterling Bank and Zenith Bank. Custodian led the losers for last week with 11%, and followed by UBN and Nestle with 7% lost. Okay, that's the summary for last week. What happened for last week? So looking at the sector, what is the update? Because we can use the sector chart to see market sentiment. As we saw from the data, the banking sector led. This is the banking sector here, and this is the general market. The general market also is not doing badly. This is the Osha index. It's already showing some strength. It's showing some strength. Now the banking is following, but since the beginning of this year, January 2020, only 2 sectors are leading the market. These are the insurance and the industrial. Top above zero line. Below the market, immediately is the oil and gas, the oil and gas, banking sector, and also the consumer goods is lagging behind. Okay, so in terms of strength, we can see strength from the banking sector. Let's see what's going on with this is the industrial is not making high highs. I love the sector that's making high high, but it's a bit flat while the market is rising. Industrial is a bit flat. Looking at the insurance, yeah, still it's not making high highs, but it's showing some flatness as well. Oil and gas, nothing to write home about, still low. The only strength I can see from all the sectors is from the banking sector. Okay, that might indicate that the banking sector at the end of the year might be leading the market. That's what the sentiment from the sector line is telling us indirectly. So we should investors and traders should keep watching what's going on in the banking sector and pick the leading stock there. All right, let's see the sentiments. The sentiment that I follow is the advance and decline line. That's a short term and McClellan oscillator with summation index. Oscillator is more of medium. This short term is almost medium, short to medium, and the summation index is medium to long term. Looking at the short term, you can see it's above zero line. So short term, in terms of short term, is safe to buy in the markets. And also we can see the oscillator rising. Oscillator rising. However, for the summation index, not really safe. It's not really safe. So what we would like to see, it's something that happened here. Say sometimes in April this year, you can see it's a flat, a pullback, after the crossover of the summation index and 10 EMA, maybe almost a safe one. But if you see flat and start rising, if the summation index is a bit flat and start rising, it's practically safe at that point. So it's let's see what happens next week. If it's going to be flat and probably it's going to cross the 10 EMA, then that will be a good one for long-term process. However, that doesn't mean there are some stocks that are not ready to go to buy. We'll talk about some of them today. But in terms of long-term activities, the market is not ripe enough. But short-term is looking good, followed by the medium. I can't both of them as short-term actually. So short-term is not bad. So the best thing to do now is to start looking for value stock and picking them at the support, entering the market at the support level. All right, let's go further. That's the sentiment from the market. Watch list stocks, Oil, agricultural and pharmaceutical stocks. They are showing a lot of strength. I tell you that. But however, some of them like the Oil has already, while others are declining, is just rising. So, but what we say, if you have time, we can see Oil is better for the stock to come to the value zone, value level before any purchase can be made or any investment. Presco is also showing some strength. Nemets and BullBearMkt, these are wonderful stocks as well. Interesting stocks, I'll list them below here. Glazo, UCAP, PZ. We can look at one or two of them later after reviewing the chart. Okay, what's next? Let's walk into the chart. Let's go into the chart and review the all-share index, what happened last week. In terms of the all-share index, let me go to the weekly. The month is yet to, let's start with the month actually. Let's see. For the month, this is what it's saying. It can reverse anywhere, but it might possibility of coming to 23,000. It's also high. However, let's go to the weekly. We're interested in the weekly today. What we see last week, at the end of last week, there is a rejection at this level at 24,300. There is rejection, but the rejection is more bearish. And what I can say about this candle, let me expand it so that it can be obvious. What I can say about this candle, yeah, not really bad, but I think the market will retest this level again, 24,000. 40 thereabouts. Market will retest the might likely retest the level of the support line this coming week, most likely. Okay, that's weekly. Let's see the volume. The volume is not showing here. In terms, it's been declined, not really bad, not really bad. So let's see the trend line very well. Let's see the trend line, whether we can get something from the trend line. All right, that is the price might test the trend line. So that's rejection for last week, but I'm expecting a retest of this level again. If most likely it can be rejected because we are having a lot of stocks found their support recently. So a retest at this level will be an opportunity for some stocks to be purchased or to be key into. So what we're looking at in terms of weekly chart is for the price to break this resistance level. If it breaks the resistance level, we touch at the trend line, might pull back the price again. If it rises above it, that will be better. Then a pullback will be a good one for the market. That's the all share index. What happened last Friday? Actually, let's see Friday whether there's anything interesting in the stock and in the market for the all share index. The all share index not really looking badly. Friday, almost nothing happened, but that's a lot in terms of exchange of values. Over 4 billion exchange on last Friday. Okay, so it's struggling to make this, to break this support line, the resistance. I'm looking at yeah, if we struggle to break this the resistance by Monday, we might see the market declining again to test this level, as we saw on the weekly. It might, yeah, but what we want to see is the market, the price to go above this level, the resistance level at 24,800, then possibly retest the same level again. It's looking interesting, actually. It's looking interesting, but my concern is if you look at the volume, it's declining. The price is also declining. That's good. While it's rising, the average volume is rising. Yeah, so that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. It's positive. So while the price is declining, the volume also is losing strength. While it's rising, it's gaining momentum. The volume is also gaining momentum. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's no fear. So the index is finding its levels gradually. So what I want to say is a rally above I think 24,800, and then a pullback will be very, very good for the market. It'll be very, very good for the market. That's on the weekly. Let's go to the index. The first index is the insurance. The first index we'll be looking at is the insurance. For the insurance month, this daily. Let's start from the monthly. The monthly last month of June was a rejection, and most likely this month of July the insurance is going to be negative. Where it's going to end is what we don't know, but looking at the chart, weekly chart, most likely it might want to test this level, the liquidity at the rejection at that's 119. So not looking good for insurance in terms of the weekly, in terms of the monthly. A long-term outlook is not looking fantastic for the insurance, I tell you. It's not looking fantastic. Insurance is not looking fantastic. And let's see the daily what happened on Friday. Um, Friday was also bearish, but the trend is also looking bearish. So what I'm seeing here, it's what I'm seeing here. This level might hold really 121. What I'm seeing here is a possibility of insurance coming further down, further down. So for now, insurance is not looking good. Let's go to other sector, oil and gas. Oil and gas weekly not looking good. It was bearish last week, completely bearish, completely bearish. In terms of the daily last week, this not really happened. Nothing really happened on Friday, but looking at the weekly, not very good. Uh, it's broken. It's broken the support here, making lower low. Ladies and gentlemen, oil and gas is making lower lows. So the stocks might be in for more sell-off. Many of the stocks might be in for sell-off, except the good ones for oil and gas. So let's see the consumer goods. The next one, consumer goods. Consumer goods is declining. It's made a good rally for the past 3 months, but the month of July is giving it a lot of sell-off. It's giving a lot of sell-off, but that's nothing to worry much about, because we might see some reversal at this point. Actually, let me bring up we might see some reversal from that is 304. That's 304 to where the liquidity is at 371. I said 370 to 304, 394. Sorry, 394. So I see some reversal there. It's been not looking good. It's making lower lows and lower highs. So long time view of the market is of consumer goods. It's not looking attractive at all, if you ask me. Last week was a sell-off, total sell-off after some rejection for the past 3 weeks or so. So last week showed a lot of sell-off, and because of that, next week we might see the continuation of sell-off going on in the consumer goods. All right, so what other things do we have? I think the remaining is the banking sector. Only the banking sector gained for last week. So on the monthly outlook of bank, yes. So that's what I always say. Look at where the liquidity is. That's right, find support, and it quickly rally back, reverse back to the upside. In terms of weekly, last week, this is last week candle. It was certainly bullish, and that's pretty good for the banking sector. So pretty sure, looking at this inside bar candle, from inside bar candle, that's a reversal candle. So banking sector might be in to retest at least where the liquidity of the reversal is here. Yeah, in terms of the weekly. So we're going to test 301, and if the 301 is a bit weak, it might rally above it and make a higher highs. So that's what we want for the banking. Banking is showing strength quickly, not looking bad at all. So good. So far so good. Let's see. Next week activity is going to be very bullish for banking sector. It's going to be bullish for the banking sector. We want to see the price rally above this resistance level, and possibly above 320. above 320, this level here, then a pullback will be good for the banking sector. That is the review of the sectors. Nothing much to look at, and apart from individual stocks, there are some stocks you want to look at. Excuse me. Let's see UCAP first. I was looking at the stock for opportunities, and this is not looking bad. UCAP might be really good to key in for a buy actually. So what's happening in the UCAP? We saw a rally. The stock made a high from April, and recently just a little pullback, and now it's ready to go. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. So if you're interested in the stock, I think 260, between 260 and 265 or 263 is a good buy level. It's a good buy level for next week. 260 to 263. That's the level I'll be looking at to key into this market. UCAP ready to go. It shows a lot of strength from the beginning of the year. Not even. Oh, sorry. I think this year, yeah, that's 2020 from April to June. From June, it's been pull back to some support level to value level, and now it's making higher highs. A little pullback to 265, there about 260 to 265 will be a good time to key into this stock, UCAP. Let's see some other stock that have good interest. I made mention of agriculture, Okomo Oil, and Presco. Yeah, let's see Presco. What's going on with the Presco? Daily it's not showing anything. Think it's of low liquidity. Okay, in terms of monthly outlook of the stock, this is where the rejection occurs. Yeah, general markets have been showing low, so it's not peculiar to a single stock. So this level might that is 38.41 on the monthly. In terms of weekly, let's see weekly. It hasn't made any high. Highs. Honestly, I'll be looking to get into this market between 26. Where is the liquidity? This. Let me go to another chart whether this one will bring in something good. Presco. Weekly, some of the same. Yeah. So almost 40. Yeah, almost 40. Yeah, between 36 and 40 naira. That's what I'll be looking at for Presco. And let's go to Okomo. What's Okomo saying? Where is Okomo? Yes, this one has been making higher highs while all the stocks are falling. However, what we see now is the price for last week decline. So will Okomo all be good at 67 or 68? Between 67 and 68. Let's really, yeah, I think 67 is what I'll be waiting for Okomo. 67. Let's see the volume. In terms of volume, last week a lot of sell-off. Is going. So let's see what happened at 67 thereabouts. Let me see with monthly. Whether there's any information on the monthly. Yeah, there's a pullback. Yeah, it's looking good. Stock is looking good, only that didn't break this high. The stock is good. The stock is good. 67 is good for Okamuhar. Let's see some other stock. Yeah, NPF Microfinance. No, this is not NPF. This is not NPF. Yeah, this is the NPF. Let me remove this one I'm actually looking at. Okay, NPF also it rallied in the month of May. June was totally this. This was June was a sell-off, total sell-off, and July continuing with the sell-off. And what we might likely see is for price testing this level 1.1 to 1.5, 1 naira 10 kobo to 1 naira 15 kobo. It's not, let's say weekly. Let me remove the volume a bit. Yes, 1 naira 5 kobo, 1 naira 5 kobo actually, 1 naira 5 kobo to 1 naira 15 kobo. That is the level that is good for NPF Microfinance Bank. It shows some strength. Now it's pulling back to value. So that's another good stock. Except there's any fundamental issue, any negative issue coming from this bank. So between one naira 5 kobo and 1 naira 15 kobo will be good to get into this stock. And also we made mention of the pharmaceutical companies. Limit is one of them. Yeah, rally up to June, July is pulling back to value. Let's see, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. If you can rally back, pull back, sorry. You can pull back to 1 naira 10 kobo thereabout. Let me see on the monthly again. Any support, any data supporting 1 naira 10 kobo? Yes. Yes. Let me see. Yeah. That might be a good one as well. If we can get to 1 naira 10 kobo, but see weekly. Yeah, I did 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Most likely 1 naira 15, 1 naira 10 to 115, 1 naira 15 kobo, 1 naira 10 to 1 naira 15 kobo, and possibly it might reverse here, but that's too high for me. I'll be looking at 110 to 115 kobo. I'm actually stop here. And reverse back to retest to 260, to retest this level at 256. Man, I will be looking forward for 110 actually. This rejection candle is too long. It's too long. I'll be looking for a lower rejection. If there is any rejection next week, this week, trading week, between here, that will be a good time to buy. But for now, 110 is what I go for. But let's see what happens this trading week. That is, let's see BullBearMkt before we close. BullBearMkt on the monthly, nice one. So till May, now it's pulling back. This bearish candle, bearish engulf, and price might be going back to value. Price is going back to value. Where is the value? It's not totally obvious here, but from what I can see here, We have more support at 2 naira. Let's say 2 naira 50. 2 naira 50 kobo. 2 naira 50 kobo, but they can get to 2 naira 18 kobo. Let's see the weekly actually. That's on the monthly. The weekly might be a bit higher. 2 naira 78 kobo. 2 naira 70 kobo. 2 naira 70 kobo. 2 naira 70 kobo. I think I will be more comfortable at between 218. The reversal might happen at 270 thereabout, but if there is any rejection at 240, it's good to go. I think I'll prefer 240. 240 is what I'll be looking at. Between 220 and 240 for me and Baker to key into me and Baker. But for now, let's quickly look at Guinness. Guinness has been making lower lows, and there have been a lot of question about whether to buy it now. As far as I'm concerned, I want to see strength in the stock before I get keen into it. Just like say this swing high, I want to see the price going above it, and a pullback with strength will be a good time to buy, but it will be highly risky to key into this because the falling stock might continue to decline. So it's getting cheaper, but it can be even more cheaper if you buy it now. So let's wait for strength for Guinness, and before we key into it. That's the weekly review for Nigeria Stock Exchange. If you have any comments, any concern, any stock you want to see next week, kindly drop it below and we'll take a look at it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for viewing this video. If you like what you do, you can subscribe and tell your colleagues about it. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.